There, it's recording.
Hooray!
It's us. Your friends. Not your friends.
Your neighbors?
The people that make you beverages sometimes and then you don't tip them, even though we're in the middle of the pandemic and risking our lives every day.
Yes.
Just so you can have a smidge of normalcy.
You're welcome. I'm glad that your life gets to be normal.
Hi, I'm Sophie Jaramillo.
I'm Natalie Cowan. And I'm
Paul Rucker.
And I'm Paul Rucker. Why did I make him so sorry?
That's your impression of a white person.
I think.
Well, that's like on
and this is a body.
That's, well, whenever, like, if you hear people's, like, I guess on South Park, especially, whenever they do a gay person's voice, it's like they always go into, like, that southern gay voice. Yeah. I mean, like, what's his face? Who was the teacher, Mr. Garrett? Is that his name?
I don't know.
I haven't watched any of it since, like, season 1, because my parents had it on VHS.
I'm Paul Rucker. Is that closer?
Yeah, that's closer. That was Paul Rucker. And this is...
The body.
The blood.
The Michelada.
A podcast.
A podcast. I'm not good at doing this voice.
Paul isn't with us today because he's dead. And by that I mean his... If
you want to send your condolences, please hit up our Instagram at BB Michelada.
His network adapter isn't working, so he might as well be dead.
Yes.
But if you want to help out with that problem, hit us up on Patreon to help continue to fund our lives, because the economy is falling apart around us. I still haven't qualified for unemployment. I qualified for unemployment today, but I've lost more than a month and a half of wages. So I'm broke.
Yeah.
Please donate to our Patreon at patreon.com/bbmichelada. That wasn't meant to be an ad. Here we are.
Times are rough, y'all.
So it's been like a month since we posted any episodes. I believe the last episode that we had up, I never ended up editing because shit got rough that week.
Sophie almost died.
I mean, I didn't almost die, but I was COVID positive. That was scary.
Yes.
More because I didn't know what was gonna happen, and from what I had heard from everyone, it was just a slow burn. And so, literally, things could change from day to day. And you know what? Sometimes it did. Mm-hmm. But more than anything, I was just uncomfortable and I couldn't breathe. I still am struggling to breathe. But I've technically been negative for 2 weeks.
Hooray!
Is it 2 weeks? 3? Maybe 3?
I don't know. I think it's like 2.
Wait, I got my second negative because I had to take 2 tests in order to come out of quarantine to go back to work.
Uh-huh.
I got my results on Juneteenth, so however long ago that was. It feels like forever.
Almost a month.
This already?
Oh no, it's like the beginning of the 3rd week. Never mind.
Okay. So yeah. I'm there. The last episode we recorded was like the last week of May, and that was when all the Black Lives Matter protests started up for George Floyd after he was killed. And shit got really heavy. I mean, it's still heavy. We're still in the thick of it. There are still people out protesting like every day.
And good for them.
And that's what today's episode is going to be kind of dedicated to, us kind of unpacking what has occurred in the last month, because I just think it's been too heavy to not address it.
Yeah,
And
it would be a disservice to just pretend it never happened and just go on with our lives.
Because especially since so much of our content is focused on true crime, like, it would be fucking stupid for us to ignore it. Because literally, most of this, like, the stories that people want to hear and like to listen to are the unsolved cases, and a lot of that has to do with the mishandling of justice by the police.
Yes.
And the fact that there aren't as many people in the true crime community that haven't addressed it is bullshit. And I'm fucking pissed about it.
Yeah, no, it's not right. Like, you get your following and you get your clout and all of that. Like, you build your career on the backs of unsolved murder.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it comes to talking about how a lot of this is because of the fault of our police and the mishandling in our crime, you turn a blind eye to it. Like, what is your podcast about then? Are you just glorifying murder?
Yeah,
that's glorifying crime. Because that's not why I'm in. I mean,
I fascinated. I don't know if I'm necessarily fascinated by it, or the fact that I wish these crimes would get more attention so then they can be brought to justice, because a lot of them, it's like, it's fucked up. Like, well, we completely missed Pride Month because of everything.
Yeah.
When we talked about Pride last year, we talked about Marsha P. Johnson, and she fucking said it herself. The police don't care about us. They weren't gonna work hard on trying to solve their cases when, you know, young black people show up killed, let alone transgendered people, you know?
Oh, yeah. How many transgender women are just being murdered in droves this year?
Mm-hmm. I want to say that at least
against minorities, this just in 2020 has been astronomical. The attacks against Asian Americans, African Americans, trans people, gay people, just lots of people, the disabled community, people in the military, like, a lot of stuff is especially coming to light now.
Well, like, everything that happened with Vanessa Guillen, like,
there's
I mean, we knew about this shit, but like, especially right now that we're, yeah, everything is under a microscope right now, but like, it needs to be.
Yeah, we need to start holding people accountable, especially the people in power. You know, you shouldn't be there if you can't handle it.
Right. Well, and no one in this administration or anyone in power currently, even those that have nothing to do with Trump, they can't fucking handle it.
No, and I mean, with the police...
I'm stress eating.
That's okay. I feel like it's been a big issue for a long time. Like, this isn't the first time this has come to light. This continuously gets just put under the rug or pushed off or explained away over and over, and I think people are finally tired of it.
Yes.
You know, and it's insane that we're all finally talking about it and being like, well, this injustice is happening to me and me and me and me and me. Mm-hmm. So we're finally like seeing it. Oh, it's not just like my problem, or it's not just a black people problem. It's not just a Latino problem. Like, it's an all of us problem.
Yeah. And I can't get, like, I still don't understand those people that still want to be like, but what about us? All of us matter. We can't just be fighting for all of these people's life, or for these particular people's life. It's like, that's not what we're saying.
My problem with those people isn't that they want to fight for everyone. Like, okay,
you know, they're just doing
all lives matter. Great. If you truly believe that all lives matter, then what are you doing for all of us? Mm-hmm. You're not doing anything. You're just trying to get us to shut up. Yeah. But if all lives truly matter to you, then, like, what are you doing for reproductive rights? What are you doing for disabilities? What are you doing about police brutality?
Right.
What are you doing about our homeless veterans? If you're not doing anything, you don't actually believe all lives matter. You just suck and want us to be quiet.
Mm-hmm. If that's like all you got, then you have nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I would be all for all lives matter if you meant it.
Yeah. And if that were true, then we would be trying to look at this from an intersectional standpoint, right?
Yes.
We want to make it an even playing field for literally everyone.
Yeah.
But as the current system is laid out, that's an impossibility. Oh, what is this? I just got a message. I don't like when I get messages.
What does it say? I lost my phone. I don't know what I did with it.
In your car.
No, I literally just had it and I put it down because I was
in the seat cushions
of my car. Oh, I chucked it at my bed for some reason. I wanted all my attention for you.
It's cool. Thank you. I appreciate you being present in this moment.
Thank you. I am very present. I'm here. I'm listening. Mm-hmm. I am reacting and taking in what you're saying.
Oh, good. Yep. But anyways, so yeah, definitely the last month was, well, not only an eye-opener, I think, anyway, people that wanted to try and make a difference, not necessarily like personally make a difference, but at least try to educate themselves, spent the last month learning and taking things in that, are harsh realities.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say that I was like super involved before, but I have definitely looked more into things that I just wasn't as aware of. Mm-hmm. Like I always knew police brutality was out there and all of these, but I never really thought about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think it's more that one of those things that unless it's like at the forefront of what's going on currently, it easily gets pushed aside. Like, come on, we grew up in LA, and during the LA riots, your house was on the fucking news during the LA riots.
I was so excited. I was a child.
Yeah, so she didn't understand what the LA riots were about. I mean, I didn't either. I didn't really even know about them until like I was in middle school, I think.
I was super stoked about the riots, so I was like, guys, I wish I had that like on video so I could just be like, this is how dumb I was when I was 3.
Yeah, I mean, you were 3.
Yeah.
Your parents were going to say, this man was brutally beaten by the police, and the community was upset.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, what I kind of like seeing about the latest protest here in Los Angeles was, by design, they made sure to stay away from like the poorer areas, and they took it straight to where the rich live.
Yes.
On purpose, because they didn't want to see the things that happened to their community previously happen to them again.
You know what else was interesting that I found was how much people in the city truly respected Kobe, because none of his murals were defaced with graffiti, even if they were in the middle of where the riots were happening.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and I was like, that's awesome, because there were some beautiful murals.
Literally, and Kobe's were like the only ones that weren't.
I know.
Oh,
Kobe did so much.
My favorite was like everyone going after like the Instagrammable like walls all over LA, like that pink wall everyone needs to take a picture with.
Which pink wall?
That one was a good one. It's like right outside of Little Tokyo, like next to the art district. It's just a bright pink wall everyone needs to take a picture with.
Oh, I've literally never taken a picture of that wall.
I mean, we've never taken it. Why would we take a picture with a bright pink wall? Why the fuck would we stop, But it's like on everybody's Instagram feed.
I don't know. When I go to Little Tokyo, if I take pictures or anything, it's like my food or like some of the art installations. I don't really care.
Yeah, I don't know why anyone gives a shit about that pink wall. But anyway, somebody tagged Black Lives Matter on it, and I was just like, good for you.
Good.
I see you. You know what I dislike is people who just mindlessly tagging shit that's not helping anything. The Instagram one, it was just because we need to stop people from taking fucking selfies right now because stop being selfish.
I am really tired of influential people going in after the riot and pretending that they had anything to do with it or that they were there.
Yeah.
Those people really piss me off. Like, what's his name? That horrible man? Logan Paul?
Oh, fuck Logan Paul.
How
he
the
went Paul brothers.
Yeah, both of them suck. But he went into a mall after it had gotten looted and was just like walking around. Like, what the fuck?
Wasn't he stealing shit too? And it's like, you're rich. What do you need to steal for?
Yeah.
Just for the clout? Like, get out.
Or that one lady that went to a building that had been like broken into and she like stood in it and took pictures. Like, lady, get the fuck out of here. If you're not here for the movement, get out.
Though I did love when that Target was burnt down in Minneapolis. There was all these women that were going in and just like you could tell they knew exactly what they wanted and they went and got that and then bounced.
I mean,
that I don't know. That's different because it's just like, you know, they've been wanting that forever and now they're like, well, fuck Target, let's go.
Yeah.
Also, it's just like on one side, yeah, fuck the Target. On the other side, did it help things? Probably not, but it wasn't necessarily the Black Lives Matter protesters who did it in the first place.
Well, here's my thing about that. I know, like, the riots are not good, looting is not good, graffiti is not good, but without that,
in the end, it's just stuff.
Are they getting any media coverage? Like, right now, the riots are still happening. They had riots in every
because they're peaceful.
4th of July, but because they're peaceful, no one cares.
Yeah.
If there was a riot, it would still be on the news, but like, so it's really a catch-22. Like, you don't want
the thing about the Minneapolis Target thing, though, was it seemed like those fires were started by other people and not protesters.
Well, that's how most of it is. Most of the looting and most of the graffiti and riots isn't the protesters. It's people going in there trying to discredit the protesters and discredit the movement.
It's a bunch of bullshit, which making things kind of like giving us mixed messages, basically. And you're trying to figure out what is the not necessarily what's the truth, but like who is on whose side here.
Yeah.
Who started what? Because on one side, sure, looting and all of that, it's just stuff. Who gives a shit? Like, even Target was like, it's cool. Black Lives Matter. We could replace the store.
They have insurance.
Yeah, exactly. But then you got other people, like, condemning it, who had, like, they weren't really affected at all.
But again, those people are just looking for a reason to stop things.
To discredit it.
People that just want to talk. They just want to shout out their mouths and say whatever they have to say. Like, we get it, you're racist. Go away.
Yeah.
You don't need to find a justifiable reason to be racist.
Anyways, I think one good thing that's come from this is people that were maybe they weren't involved prior to any of these protests. They've kind of taken a step back and educated themselves, like my dad and my brother, for instance. Like, you know, I studied a lot of this when I was in school, and I would literally have arguments with my brother about what, like, the definition of racism was, and, like, how you technically can't be racist towards white people just because of all the systematic oppression that is implied when you use the word racism. Yeah. And it would just be considered prejudice. This motherfucker is on fucking Facebook fighting with a bunch of Trumpsters on the daily.
Oh, I know.
And then my dad,
they're, like, posting stuff. Like, first time in forever I've ever seen Calvin post so much.
Yeah, I mean, he barely posts anything in the first place, and now it's like he has something for every day.
Yeah.
And then he just likes fucking with, well, dumb people, basically.
I mean,
and arguing with them. I mean, he's using his privilege. He looks like a white boy, so good for him.
Yeah.
And then my dad, who I didn't even think he gave a shit about police brutality or racism or any of that, because I mean, he's as white as Mexicans come.
Yeah.
I mean, he's literally half white, and he just looks completely white.
I know that.
And like he was telling me, I watched it and I was like, oh shit, this is really deep. I had never seen it, but like I knew what the 13th Amendment was. I just watched this really good documentary on the 13th Amendment. Like I had no knowledge of any of that, he told, which basically made the prison slave labor okay.
Yeah.
And made them want to fucking arrest
everybody.
People. So we particularly minorities and black people in particular, to make sure we never lose slave labor. And it was just like, I'm glad he's staying learning, because like, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of doubted.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If he even gave a shit, you know? It's like one of those things where you're not really, especially if you don't grow up in a like a multi-ethnic household.
I think
you're not sure if like your white family members, like where they stand exactly.
Yeah. I think this is definitely one of those situations where you can't stay on the sidelines and not have an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't coast by with this. I don't think we're like generation and Generation Z, we're not letting that happen anymore. Exactly. We're not letting family members get away with just like not saying anything.
Hmm. And kind of like, it's another one of these instances where I'm weirdly glad like certain family members have passed away, because I know this would be an issue today.
Oh yeah, like my grandpa.
Yeah, my grandpa too.
We would have.
He's just like, this would have been something we'd have a falling out over.
Yeah, that's why. Is it weird that I'm like, I'm glad he's dead, because I would probably hate him after this.
Yeah, no.
I don't want to tarnish the nice memories I have of my grandpa with having to face the reality that he's a racist.
Mm-hmm. I mean, at least we could recognize that, you know?
Oh yeah, I could tell you without a doubt, like I know where my grandpa would stand on this situation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not the same platform I would take.
Mm-hmm.
And it would probably be something that would destroy my idea of him.
Well, my grandpa, he was literally the darkest person in his entire family. Like his mom, she was a fucking white Mexican, but he was dark. So like I imagine that there was a lot of self-loathing in that sense, because they definitely, I think in just Latino culture in general, they kind of put an emphasis on
white
people that look more, white is more attractive to them. Mm-hmm. And like the darker you are, it's not as attractive.
Yeah.
And you know, that gets ingrained in you.
Oh, I know.
And that makes you hate anyone who's darker than you automatically.
I think there's a lot of that in our culture. And also...
Mm-hmm. Well, this goes back to the caste system.
Mm-hmm.
Of just who's top tier and who isn't, you know?
Yeah.
We're basically ranked by skin color.
Yeah.
It's all fucked. But goddamn. I mean... Shit is happening though.
Oh yeah.
It took so much, but shit is happening.
I just hope that God, I just don't want it to lose momentum, you know?
Mm-hmm. And then it's just,
and then I don't want it to get to a place where we were before this administration, mm-hmm. and think that we have made progress, because that's not progress to get back where we were.
Mm-hmm. We need and then it's all complicated because we're fucking COVID.
Yes. But I think, in a sense, like, COVID also helped.
Mm-hmm.
Because it definitely, because everyone was home with their own ideas. We were able to see what was really happening and get momentum behind the movement, because so many people were at home and could go out and protest and could do research and, you know, write articles, make videos and record the police. And so thanks COVID for that.
Yeah. Well, also not to mention that COVID is disproportionately like hurting people of color more than any other group.
And that's a whole other issue, is the medical profession and how they treat people of color.
I know when I got tested, I had to go like to freaking the Martin Luther King Jr. Hospital, like right outside of Watts. And they had like a multicultural staff, but they were like so like overwhelmed. Like I was in a line that only went like around a block for 2 hours waiting to get tested in my car. And there's like people on foot, and it was, I mean, Jesus, they're doing good work there, but goddamn, they need a lot more resources. They need a lot more staff.
Unfair, like the way that resources get split up. It's awful. It's set up so that rich neighborhoods get more money than poor neighborhoods. But you would hope it would be the opposite. But poor neighborhoods have minorities in them, and they don't give a fuck about minorities.
That's true. But I hope, I mean, people are staying safe as they continue to protest, but I'm also hoping that just because this is still, like, we're still technically in a pandemic, that, I mean, you're staying safe, but you're also continuing to do what you can.
Yeah, it's definitely a catch-22.
Not, I mean, you don't necessarily need to be out in the streets protesting, but, like, you could be signing petitions every day, watching those videos on YouTube that are just earning money via ad revenue for Black Lives Matter.
Calling people, letting them know that you feel certain ways.
I mean, that's what I was doing during, like, the second week of my quarantine, because I literally had nothing else to do. I would just have the video going on, and as long as it's, like, turned up a little bit, because you have to make sure your volume isn't at 0, because YouTube knows. You have to have it turned up a little bit, you have that content going, and it will gain ad revenue for that. So, I mean, I hope that video is still up, still earning money, but I'm going to link the Black Lives Matter link card so people can check out resources on what they can do if they don't necessarily want to go out to protest because it's unsafe. But yeah, I mean, that's what I can do personally right now. Like, I'm still not 100% with my lung capacity. Like, every other day I'm doing a breathing treatment on my little nebulizer thing. Like, this sucks.
Yeah.
So I'm not telling people to, like, ditch quarantine and just go out in the streets and do whatever.
That's exactly what she's saying.
Yes. Go get infected. Bring the illness to Capitol Hill. Get everyone sick.
I mean, they're going to do that.
That's how we started
with dumb rallies.
That's true. What Trump Jr.'s girlfriend she just caught it.
Oh,
maybe
good.
Maybe she spread it.
That would be nice.
So, because one of the symptoms I had was I had the loss of taste. For the longest time, I couldn't taste spice.
She's probably had it for years then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I couldn't taste spice. I kept wondering, if I were to get pepper sprayed, would it hurt?
Yes.
I did not try it, but, like, wouldn't that be a cool, like, random COVID superpower to have during a time when we're all protesting and the police are attacking us with pepper spray? God. Random thoughts.
The places your mind goes.
Yeah, well, I mean, I had just so much time to myself. What else am I gonna do?
That's true.
But I want people to know that we weren't just like sitting back and chilling because we didn't want to be part of the conversation. I think, well, one side, I was kind of incapacitated. Like, literally, I could not speak without losing my breath. Still having trouble with that. But also, like, well, there's too much going on that I don't want to kind of misspeak on things that I really have no business addressing.
Yes.
So, I think we took the time in the last month to kind of learn where our place is in the movement and then see what we could do. And yes, it's not enough, but it is a start. And I don't want to move forward without addressing what's happening here.
Yes.
But goddamn.
Yeah, it's been
rough.
It's been rough.
Mm-hmm. But like, damn. What we've experienced in the last few weeks is only a smidge of what Black people have been dealing with since the beginnings of this country.
Yeah.
So if you think we're exhausted, they're even more so. So like, we got nowhere to talk, you know?
No, and there's so much room for change.
Mm-hmm. And I definitely think, as white passing people, we need to use whatever privilege we have to kind of uplift their voices, not speak over them, and, you know, address this.
Yes. Yeah, I'm definitely trying to learn a lot more about checking my own privilege and also how to be a good ally, I think is important. You know, not acting like this movement is about me, but helping people that it actually affects. Which I shouldn't laugh, but I think that is something that a lot of people don't understand as allies. This isn't about you.
Yeah.
But we have to offer ourselves as help to lift others.
I mean, yeah, I definitely think that's where we need to start. Also, like, this is moving into everything going on with Vanessa Guillen. How fucked up is it that the day before Independence Day you find out what actually happened to this poor girl?
Yeah.
Like,
but at least
literally there was nothing to celebrate this year.
Oh no, there was absolutely nothing to celebrate. Like, this country is a mess, and there's so
like, already I was not going to celebrate because literally fireworks are the bane of my existence because of my lung issues currently. But like, goddamn, on top of that,
yeah,
like, I forgot what the name of the documentary was. This was one of the last movies that they made me watch before like the last course I took before I graduated. We had to watch on it was a documentary about women who've suffered abuse in the military, and basically the military trying to cover it up. If I remember the name of it, I will post it in the description so people could check it out. I'm pretty sure it's free on YouTube. I'm pretty sure that's where I saw it. But like, I mean, that's been out for I don't know how many years already, and then some people are saying that this is like the first that they're hearing of it. It's like, no, this has been going on.
This has been an ongoing issue with the military. And they're always like, well, if you're a woman in the military, you gotta expect you're gonna get harassed. And it's like, why? Why would I have to expect that if I'm fighting for my country, that you're gonna treat me like shit all the time?
It's like, you're already targeting freaking minorities and people that come from low-income families. And then you give them all of these promises
that you're never going to deliver on. Yeah.
And then you're just going to treat them like shit the entire time that they're serving their country.
And then when they complain about being treated like shit, you chastise them.
And you make their lives living hells. Or you fucking kill them. Like, it's fucked up.
It's super fucked up.
But, like, you definitely know this was all an inside job, because the girl was found covered in cement, bludgeoned to death on base.
Yeah. It's like, where did this wet cement come from? Did no one think it was weird?
And then already, like, one of the suspects killed themselves. So, you know, shit happened. And the girl who reported her friend missing, who also was part of the military, she suddenly dies in a car accident. Like, come on. Right now, there are no coincidences. I'm sorry.
No, that's insane. And what do they think? We're just gonna, like, pretend, oh, okay, that girl's dead, and it's done.
Like, this is the shit we need to be fighting.
Yeah.
Breaking down. These systems of white patriarchy, like, need to go.
I also think we need to break down the idea that in this country, you can't be a patriot and want the country to evolve. Like this idea that America's perfect. No. Wouldn't it make you more of a patriot to want to see America become perfect?
Yeah.
Like, live up to the dream that you like to sell to people?
Like, I mean, granted, the founding fathers are fucking terrible people, but, like, what the fuck you think that they were doing? They were trying to do their best to find ways to improve this country as it was beginning.
I cannot imagine that the tyranny that they faced is worse than the tyranny we are facing now.
So, like, if they're patriots for trying to, like, put new systems in place to govern a country, like, why are we not for wanting better?
Yeah.
You know? Like, what the fuck? Ugh, I'm fed up. I'm fed up. Also, like, I'm just, like, hyper aware of how selfish literally every single person in this country is now. Because if you're not speaking up about any of this, and also you're not, like, there's people that are just, like, still trying to do their normal lives like nothing is going on, but also ignoring that there's a fucking pandemic and not wearing their mask, and it's just like, people need to stop being so fucking self-centered.
I don't understand. People are, like, ignoring the pandemic and ignoring Black Lives Matter. I'm like, really? You're ignoring both things? How?
Like, just stop.
What else is even happening?
Like, there's nothing to do currently, and you're still trying to pretend like there's nothing going on.
Just
like,
overthrow the government. Fuck, come on.
Yes.
What else are you even doing? Get on the bandwagon. Fight for Black rights. There's nothing good on
And also,
Netflix. Go to a protest.
Yes. I'm sorry, like, everything is all over the place as far as thought-wise goes. Like, I didn't, like... We definitely didn't pre-plan what we were going to talk about, other than, let's talk about what happened in the last month. But it's just all over the place. My feelings, my emotions, my...
All over the place.
Everything. This country's all over the place.
Yeah.
But no, like, definitely... That's, just the self-centeredness of literally every single person in this country. I mean, us included, we're pretty self-centered.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But, like, it just makes it, like, so embarrassingly obvious about how self-centered our culture is, that, like, why?
We are so self-centered. We are refusing to wear masks because of how ridiculously self-centered this country is.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't understand the concept of helping others here.
Yeah.
It's like we feel like if we help others, we are taking away from ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Which, in a weird way, I think is kind of different from, like, how I was raised, but I think it's because of, like, you know, my mom's family being, like, first generation. They were dependent on other people's help to get by in this country prior, so they would continue to help other people after they were already established. So the fact that, like, we're seeing other people that we thought came from similar backgrounds kind of not doing the same, it's just weird to me, you know?
I feel the same way. I'm just like, how do you not want to help? Like, how do you not understand how the masks work? Or, like, why are you doing this? I don't get it. Like
my grandma, she was, like, literally in our neighborhood, the one who would give, like, she would give her friends their insulin shots because she was, like, the trained nurse of them. And she was a lady you would go to when it came to for, like, medical advice that you didn't need to go to a doctor for, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's just like, I don't know, like, can't we just do, like, the fucking bare minimum to, like, take care of other people?
Yeah.
If I could fucking breathe in the mask, literally everybody else can. Because, like, I have fucking emphysema lung right now.
I know people are like, you can't breathe in it, but, like, that doesn't make any sense.
You get used to them. I mean, we had them on for hours, and, like, you kind of forget about it.
People wear them all the time. They're not new.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a new
nurses
concept.
fucking do it all the time. And it's just like, God. And most of the time, people don't even have to wear them that long because they're just using them at the grocery store and stuff, and then going straight home since they have nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
So I don't understand.
No, I don't get it. I'm like, what are you doing that you can't breathe? Are you running?
Yeah.
But there are people that also run. They run with weird masks. So the one that, like, supposed to simulate, like, higher altitudes or something.
Yeah.
People pay a lot of money to be able not to breathe while they run.
It's for training or something. So, like, when they actually do run without the mask, like, they're fucking great at it.
Well.
And their lungs don't get tired or some shit. I don't fucking know.
I have no idea.
It's an endurance thing.
Yeah, I don't run with those things. I also don't run. Yeah.
Oh, God. But, like, people, if you aren't, please register to vote. Like, right now, that's definitely, like, something that people could be doing if they don't want to leave their house, is registering to vote. I know in California, everybody is getting the mail-in ballot, whether they signed up or not, just because pandemic. But, register to vote. And if, you know, you're not in California, it's not automatic, sign up for the mail-in ballot and do that. please, and look into your voting issues prior to going to the polls. You get practice ballots for a reason.
If you register to vote and send me proof, I will send you a candy bar.
She will send you a candy bar.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's her promise, not mine. I have no money.
I will send you a candy bar.
Can I get a candy bar for everyone who signs up?
Like, will you get an equal amount of candy bars as to what I'm sending out?
Maybe. It depends on how many people sign up.
I mean, sure.
Okay.
Like, are you gonna... Okay. Yeah, you have to at least put out something to be like, register to vote, so that way you earn the candy bars?
I decided yesterday I'm going to try doing drag as my alter ego, which is just me, but with the fancy name Sophia Hemophilia, which is my Twitter handle. That's my drag queen name. I'm gonna start doing that, but I'll dress up in drag and tell people to vote.
Okay.
And register. And then that's me doing my part, and then I'll be a modern day I guess what would you call them? A mascot for voting?
Suffragette?
Sure. Not a suffragette. Fuck the suffragettes.
That's what a mascot for voting is, though. I know the suffragettes sucked, but like that's what the word was, right?
I forgot what they're called.
Okay.
No, I mean they're not a mascot. They're a symbol. But I mean, like, you know how Rosie the Riveter is a mascot for, like, you know, working hard while the men are away, you know, but for voting, but as a drag queen.
I don't think that exists. Whatever you're talking about. No, because some of the drag queens were like, "Go vote."
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
And then I'll hold up a ballot box like, bitch, did you vote? No tacos for you. That'll be my slogan.
Is the taco your vagina?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Natalie, I'm asexual. At this point, we should just know that that's never what I mean. Oh. Goddamn. I do be stressed eating these Airhead gummies, though.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Just... People, please, just recognize if you're being self-centered or not. And then look to see what you can do.
Yes.
Even if it's like the bare minimum, at least do something. Watch a documentary. Educate somebody else. Recommend that documentary to somebody else. Get the word out, you know? It's not enough to just be like, here's some performative shit. I posted some things on Instagram, Twitter, whatever. Sign petitions, watch shit, tell people about it, vote. If you can protest, if you feel safe enough to protest. Also, do not be sneaking into random yards where school districts keep their buses and tag Black Lives Matter across them and think that you've done well. You have not. You're literally doing the opposite for the movement.
Yeah.
Because first of all, you're white, you're privileged, and you're making the Black Lives Matter movement look bad. So fuck you. Except for that Instagram wall that deserved it.
Yes.
Because you know what? Schools are already underfunded.
Yes.
Stop fucking with that shit. That building with that pink wall, I'm pretty sure it's like a boutique store or something that no one gives a shit about.
Yeah, it's something
They
dumb.
got insurance. Also, if anyone tags a Kobe murals, you're probably going to get beat up.
Yes, for sure.
So don't even consider it. I mean, say what you will about Kobe, but sure, he might have done some bad, but he also did a lot of good.
Mm-hmm.
Especially for the local communities, so I'm just saying, don't touch them.
Yes.
Anyways, Paul apologizes for not being able to sit down on this episode. His internet was not letting him. He's been messaging us throughout it, but know that he shares these sentiments.
He's with you, as are we all.
Yeah. Okay, Daniel got that shift covered. Cool. But yeah. Check your privilege. Do what you can. Educate yourself. Stay woke, y'all. And, do you have any recommendations, Natalie? I mean, I definitely recommend that movie, The 13th Amendment, that my dad recommended, which I was surprised about. It's on Netflix. Ava DuVernay directs it. Really good. It's a little hard to
You know what? I do actually
to sit through.
I do have
but,
one.
I mean, it's difficult shit that everyone needs to learn. But go on.
Actually, if you guys haven't, I would recommend you watch Disclosure on Netflix.
Oh yeah, the one, the Laverne Cox documentary, right?
It's not too long, maybe an hour and a half, and it just has trans activists and trans actors, people that are in the movie and television business, kind of talking about the trans experience. It really opens your eyes to the how we view trans people in media.
You're right.
And it's all trans people talking about it, so there aren't other people that come in and try to tell you about the trans experience. It's trans people talking about being trans. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. It really opened my eyes to things that I didn't notice as someone that's not only not in the trans community, but someone who, I love media. I absolutely adore television, and I feel like I'm a movie buff. And then there's a lot of things that you don't even notice that are really destructive to trans people. Mm-hmm. So please watch Disclosure. A comic series that I want to recommend is March by Senator John Lewis. He's either senator or congressman, but John Lewis, he wrote it. It's about his life and basically the start of the civil rights movement and how he became involved, and how these little acts of protest turned into a much bigger thing. And I don't know, I just think it's something that is a little bit more lighthearted and a good place to start for people that aren't really familiar with any sort of activism, that want to start getting involved, as a kind of way to encourage them more. Yeah. So definitely check that out. I also think he made a sequel series to March, because March is 3 comics. And then he has another series called Run, which is about him getting started into politics following his civil rights career. I have not read that, but I have heard good things. Oh, cool. Sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely some things in there that were pretty eye-opening, particularly he talked about how in Georgia, where he grew up, that dirt roads weren't paved unless a white person needed to utilize them. And I had just seen an ad for, I believe, somewhere in Kentucky, where this guy was talking about how he doesn't give a shit about what politicians promise him until somebody finally decides to pave the dirt road that he lives on. And I was just like, that is currently happening, and that's still what?
That's
how
crazy.
do we still have dirt roads? Yeah. And that really just kind of stood out to me.
No, so my mom is from Guatemala, and she lives in a village that has completely dirt roads. So I do understand, because they just paved their roads, and my mom was so proud to finally have paved roads in her village. The government didn't even do it. The people got together and had to pay to have them come out and pave the town. And like, she would show me videos of people pouring cement, and I was like, cool, Mom. It didn't even occur to me that like how big of a thing that might be for her, because I've always lived in an area with paved roads.
Yeah, I mean, same. Like, even like my grandparents, they had like a farm in the middle of nowhere, New Mexico. They had a fucking paved road out front. So like, it's definitely, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the things that makes you like look at your privilege and be like, oh.
You don't even recognize that that is a privilege until you realize there are many people that are going without that, you know? Mm-hmm. So it's definitely, just things like that are kind of what are, I think, help people realize like how good they actually have it, but also that you need to help fight for people to just get those simple basic necessities, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like, shit, roads by now should be a given. It's part of your fucking infrastructure.
Yeah.
You know? But goddamn. So yeah, check those out. Please stay away from white savior movies like The Help. What was the other one? Green Book. Please don't watch Green Book. There's probably countless others, but you know, there are many lists online of movies you should watch instead of those. If I can find them before I post this episode, I will post them in the link. I will do my best to put the right links up and make sure it's not just an empty space, because what the fuck else do I got going on, you know?
True.
And next week we'll probably be back with a regular episode. I didn't want to come back with a regular episode and not address this, because like,
what was going on, not make you guys think that we just ignore it.
Yeah. There was too much going on to like not dedicate an entire episode to it, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Granted, there was no structure to this episode, but do any of our episodes have structure? Are we structured people? No, we're very disorganized. Deal with it. If Paul has any recommendations, I will give you links to those. And yeah. So stay woke, everyone. Educate yourselves. Educate everyone around you. If they don't want to be educated, they're trash. You should drop them. You don't need that negativity in your life. And please wear your mask. Think about everybody else before you think about yourself.
Yes.
Just
please wear your mask.
I mean, that's like the most basic thing right now. And also, if you're gonna be deciding to go out to any restaurants or establishments, well, you're still in quarantine technically.
Please be nice.
Please consider that most of these people are not getting hazard pay, so tip them and be nice
to them. They're risking their lives.
They literally are. You fucking assholes. All right. We're basically at an hour, so I'm gonna say we're good.
I think we did it. We did it, guys.
We did it. Hooray! Hooray!
Hooray!
Bye. Paul says bye too.
Bye.
Yeah,
okay. Bye. Is that Paul? Bye.